YouTube. I know it's late on a Wednesday hump day, but hey, I had a Zoom with everyone that are graduating. Well, we having our commit ceremony soon, so Dr. Lillie had to do a Zoom with everyone that we're doing our commit ceremony, all the doctors. So that's why I am late. So please forgive me. Welcome to my live. I am Queen Lillie, Dr. Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. We got a lot to cover, y'all. This live will be about all things Epstein and Donald Trump. That is our focus. Donald Trump in the Epstein files. Trump is in the Epstein files. Yeah, boy. It's a lot going on, y'all. Our girl has been sworn in. Yes. Adelita, it has been sworn in. All right. I'm excited about that because she has waited now 49 days to be sworn in. That is the longest anyone has had to wait to be sworn in. Adelita won for Arizona. She should have been sworn in, y'all. Welcome to my live. Hit that like button as you coming in. If you like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers, baby. Also, in my description is my Venmo and my PayPal link. So if you want to bless me, those are the ways you can bless me. And I thank each and every last one of y'all for coming to my live. Without you, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. Without King Allen, I wouldn't have my YouTube channel. Without King LaSwan, I would not have my YouTube channel. Y'all make me have a channel by coming to my live and supporting me. Again, I am Dr. Queen Lillie, and we got a lot to cover, y'all. A lot to cover. Blessings and blessings and blessings on top of blessings pouring in. And I pray that your family be enriched as well, because God is an awesome God. But we got work to do. We may get even a little dirty by doing the work, y'all. But we're going to love and respect each other in my chat, okay? Because love goes further than hate. So when I step into the chat and tell you I love you, please don't disrespect me. I want to spread love. I don't want to spread hate. Although we got a sour subject to cover, Donald Trump and the Epstein files, that doesn't take away the love I have for you. I love you too, MAGA. You ain't got to love me back. I want to go to heaven. I can't go to heaven with hate in my heart. And then when I have ever said the word hate, I had to go repent because I know I was wrong. Hey, King Mark. Hello, Queen Miss Bugs. Hey, King Mark and Queen Miss Bugs. What's going on, everybody? Come on in. We got a lot to talk about. Everything Epstein, baby. Yeah. Who's our subject today? Epstein and Donnie boy, because honey, the emails from Epstein were released. And his brother has something to say too today, y'all. Epstein brother has spoken. He has. And Donnie, you can try to wiggle your way up out of this all you want to, baby. But the evidence is there. You can try to talk down Bowler or whatever name is board that signed on to make it help make sure it stay at 218 since Adelita has signed as number 218. Donald Trump tried to have his own private meetings to stop his Republican people that signed on to release the Epstein files. He tried to stop them. But we got an awesome God, because it is not right what has happened to them victims. I know what those victims are living. We got to do the right thing, America. This is our country, America. Donald Trump worked for the American people, but we have been treated like we are the peasants of the king. And we are not that, babies. No, we are God's children. And we must step up and fight together. That is the only way we can win. What else will it take, MAGA, for you to wake up? Baby, wake up. Please wake up. I'm begging you. Give your soul to Jesus Christ, not to Donald Trump. You said who is your savior. He can't save you. Only Jesus Christ can, baby. If you're a true Christian of God, true Christian, you know that Donald Trump is not your savior. And that's blasphemy. It would be blasphemy to even say I was, and I'm not. I wouldn't want nobody to say that, because I would never be better than Jesus Christ. Never. None None of us are better than Jesus Christ, the Messiah, Jehovah Jireh. None of us. I love y'all. We're going to get started, okay? God loves you too. I love you, MAGA. You ain't got to love me back, baby, because I can't help it if you don't love me. I got to do the right thing. Just a moment. We're going to be getting started. How y'all doing today, beautiful kings and queens? What we're talking about, the Epstein files. So on Capitol Hill today, you're going to listen to someone. They're going to talk about the implicating of Trump. Thank you so much, King Tim. Thank you, and I love you.
Morning, the House Oversight Committee released new emails from the Epstein files, I guess. Tell us, what are we seeing and what are the implications here in as much as it relates to Donald Trump and his involvement with some of these survivors?
I think most importantly, we are seeing that Donald Trump has been lying about his knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's vast crime network that they were running and child sex trafficking operation that they were running. He has been saying for many months now that he barely knew them, that this entire thing is a Democratic hoax. And today, I think we all knew that was not the case. But what was revealed today through the emails between Jeffrey Epstein and other individuals makes very clear that Donald Trump was well aware of what was going on. So he has been making personal phone calls to members of the Republican caucus who are signed on to the discharge petition to try to pressure them from getting off of it, because this afternoon at 4 p.m., when Adelita Grijalva is sworn in after 49 days since she was elected to Congress, she will be the 218th signature on that discharge petition, which will force Mike Johnson, who has been absolutely complicit in enabling this massive and egregious cover-up by the Trump White House. She's going to be that 218th signature, but we'll see what happens. I think the fact that Trump is making these personal calls himself also is very clear that he is concerned. He's freaking out because of his implications in the files, and that's why we need the full files released now.
And is there any implication in terms of the cush treatment that Ghislaine Maxwell has been receiving behind bars, given that she was in one of these emails that was released today?
It is unacceptable what is happening with Ghislaine Maxwell. We know that she has been getting waited on hand and foot. Emails came out where she describes that she is getting excellent treatment. Why is that? Why is somebody who is a convicted sex trafficker, who we have heard directly from victims that she was very much a co-partner in these crimes with Jeffrey Epstein, why is she getting this treatment? I think they're doing everything they can to prepare the public for pardoning her, and we cannot let that happen.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman. Congresswoman, this morning, the House Oversight Committee released new emails.
Ooh-wee, Donald Trump. Donnie boy, can you explain this to the American people? Why the person that is the leader of this beautiful country, America, is in the emails of Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein, and they're discussing what that was going on and that you was with a young girl. They were trying to figure out how they're going to get you because they figured you was getting them, and the getting got, because Ghislaine is behind bars. But she's receiving special treatment from Donald Trump. She received a what they call a security dog, or whatever it is, one of them dogs that make you feel secure, that helps you release stress. I don't believe in none of that. You just want a pet. You want a beautiful dog. That's what it was. And Donnie made sure you got it. You're getting special treatment, getting all kind of special meals and treats up in there. Donnie scared you're going to tell the truth. But the emails already exposed him, girl. You need to be put back in high security. Miss Maxwell, you don't deserve special treatment. You trafficked young girls. But Donnie just may pardon you. Donnie, you're going to hell, boy. Your soul is rotten and it can't be saved. You're a reprobated mind, and reprobated minds will not go to heaven. God has turned his back on you. You are a Gentile in many ways. So, 3 more Republicans break from Trump and will support Epstein files being released. They turning on you, Donnie. What you's gonna do, boy? Aaron
more breaking
Partners.
news right now. 3 Republicans have come out and said they will vote for the discharge petition when it reaches the House floor, breaking from Donald Trump. That's 7 Republicans total. 7 Republicans already saying they support this discharge petition to get the Epstein files out of the Department of Justice. The 3 Republicans, Warren Davidson, Eli Crane, and Don Bacon. They're conservatives, they're moderates, all spectrum, and we expect more. Because right now, there could be up to 60 Republicans that vote for this petition. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we ever see the files. What I do know is I think the floodgates are opening. Because as I'm reviewing these documents, it is getting worse and worse. There are Russia connections. It's a lot. And I'm going to be providing you updates all evening. But right now, Republicans are breaking. Floodgates are opening. Subscribe to my support my work. Link in bio on my Substack.
Subscribe to Aaron Partners, everybody. Everything I show you is fair use, great for educational purpose, and great research purpose, and great for entertainment. And I always throw some comedy in there. So when I'm making wise, little, cute little jokes about Donald Trump, it has nothing to do with you, MAGA. So don't disrespect me in my chat because this is my live. You can say and voice your opinion about whatever you like, but we got to be respectful. Because if you say you're a Christian, you wouldn't say the things you say about me in my chat. I love you. So I'm going to check for the latest update on what old Donny boy been doing. Oh, he made a response, and this was 17 minutes ago. Hold on. I'm going to show my beautiful people. Yes, I am. Just a moment, please. Hello, Zombie. How you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Arm and Hammer, how are you doing? Queen Casey Quinn, how are you, beautiful queen? King Ellen, you know I love you, baby. 7, how are you? Queen Miss Bugs, she says, you sure did, Alan. Special treatment got a pick. Yeah. Phoenix GUN says, you guys done what happened Epstein list today? Yes, we know about it, baby. That's all we're talking about this evening, my love. King Eric, how you doing? King William, how are you? Yes, he is a clown, my love. I love you. Halsey, how are you doing? King Joe, how are you this evening? King Mark, how are you doing this evening? King Lil Swan, how you doing? I love you. I love you all. King Tim Cole, I love you, baby. Thank you for blessing me. So we're going to continue, everybody. One moment, because I'm going to collect more stuff because I was on the commencement for the commencement ceremony for me and a couple other doctors. I was on a Zoom, so I didn't get to collect as much, but what I have, I'm going to show that, but I want to add more stuff as well. Hello, Sal. How you doing, King? IA, how you doing? Good to have you on my live. I love you all. Let's see. Ooh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Give your girl a chance. Oh, the survivors are supposed to speak tonight. I think I saved that one already. And Queen Adelita. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, my beautiful kings and queens. Because God is supplying us more information about who? Oh, Donny boy. Yeah. Trump is in the Epstein files. Okay, here we go. I love y'all. How you doing? How you doing out there? Hit that like button for me right now. Again, if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. Thank you all, okay? So, hold on just a moment. Now we're going to listen to Representative Lillie Ramirez on Capitol Hill, another person that was at Capitol Hill. CC Life, thank you for blessing me and thank you for becoming a subscriber. I love you. Thank you. So let's take a listen to this, okay?
In reaction to in the CR,
hold on.
are 8 Republican senators who I guess are going to get, what, $500,000 or more?
More, probably. It's disgusting. I mean, think about it. These senators are going to be making money off of you while you can't even get health care. We're talking about if they get subpoenaed, they get $500,000. If they actually have to send anything in, they get another $500,000. 500,000. We're talking about $1 million in total, enriching themselves while you can't even pay for your health care. They snuck in that language last minute into the bill. My colleagues on my side still voted for that bill. And now we're making sure here in the House that every single member of Congress, whether a Democrat or Republican, are ready to be able to respond why they're willing to vote for a bill that will cut health care. Like, people will die as a result of us not actually putting an extension on the ACA, while you got 8 senators who are going to become even richer off of you.
Right. I guess on another front, Adelita Grijalva gets sworn in at 4 o'clock today. She'll be the 218th vote. There's obviously new emails that are surfacing through the House Oversight Committee. What's the next steps in terms of voting to see these files released?
Look, I'm really hopeful that some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle don't start caving in. I'm hearing rumors that at least one of them, who talks about always protecting survivors, all of a sudden is talking about trying to remove her name.
Talk about Nancy Mace?
You said it. Yeah, that's Nancy Mace. But that would make her even bigger of a hypocrite. Like, you can't say you're protecting women and children, and then all of a sudden, it's not popular for me right now, so I'm going to pull my name out. But if in fact they all stay in, it'll be 218, and then over the next few days, then we can go ahead and call for this vote. The thing is, the speaker can try to use pro forma and other procedures to try to block it from happening. But you just saw an email today. I mean, you saw emails that showed Jeff Epstein talking about how the dog that hadn't barked had been in his house for a long time, was one of the victims. We know what's in there. And that's exactly why Johnson's willing to have gone through the weeks that we did in the shutdown and not swear in Adelita, all to protect pedophile. So we're hoping that Nancy and Marjorie and others are going to stay strong, because if they're going to stand up for children and against pedophiles, we need to get this to the floor as soon as possible.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
Congresswoman,
Nancy Mace, you're from my home. Yeah. You are a letdown. Not only are you manly looking, but you are a victim as well. You have been essayed, and you are letting those victims down. You walked out of that meeting with the victims and was crying, pretending. Now I believe you were pretending, Mace. And the rest of you that's going to back out, you are sorry son of a gun. You are just like Donald Trump, trash at the bottom of the dumpster. The wind ain't even going to blow you out of it because you ain't on the top. You never been on top. You're a loser like Donald Trump. I dare you back out of helping those survivors. You smiled in their faces and said you was going to help. You signed your name on it. You just may back out. No, your career is over. You're going to get voted out of there. You back out. You're lesser to get voted back in by backing out. Stay with your name on that list and you will get voted back in. If not, South Carolina will vote your raggedy ass out of there. It's that simple. Do the right thing. Help survivors. Y'all have no idea how hard it is to come out and say what has happened to you, unless you lived it. And you said you lived it, girl. I'm beginning to think you're a liar. One moment, please. Now we're going to take a listen to United Now. Please support this young man. He is on Instagram. Follow him. Subscribe to him. Subscribe to him on YouTube. Thank you.
Donald Trump has issued his response to the newly released Epstein emails, where he says Trump knew about the girls and spent hours at a time with a victim at his own house. And instead of addressing any of it at all, Trump goes into full deflection mode. Take a look at this. He says the Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown. And so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. He then claims the Democrats cost our country $1.5 trillion because of the government shutdown, while at the same time putting so many at risk, and they should pay a fair price. That response is exactly what it looks like. Panic wrapped up in deflection. The emails didn't come from the Democrats. They didn't even come from the media. They came straight from Jeffrey Epstein. Calling Epstein's words a Democrat hoax makes no sense, unless, of course, your goal is to avoid answering any questions about what Epstein said. Instead of trying to explain the context or addressing why Epstein said Trump spent hours with a victim at his own house, Trump did what he always does. Blame the Democrats, cry fake news, and just hope people forget about it. But I promise we will not stop talking about the Epstein case until every single person involved is held accountable and put in a jail cell. So Donald Trump has issued his response to the newly released
tonight. Everything Epstein is what we are discussing, everybody. Everything Epstein. That is what we're discussing tonight. Welcome to my live. You are very, you are appreciated, and you are loved. Sit down, take a seat, get you a nice glass of water, get your crystal wine glass and fill it with water, because we got a lot to cover. Yes, it's late, my loves, but hey, we got a lot to cover. More with the Epstein files. Breaking 3 more Republicans. I think, did I show y'all that already? I think I did. So, House Republicans released 23,000 Jeffrey Epstein emails. Documents suggest Donald Trump knew more than he admitted. So let's take a listen to this. And this comes from the Shade Room. It is an article that they got from Washington Post. And it says, the massive release came only hours after Democrats shared messages suggesting Trump may have known more about Epstein's ex-trafficking activities than he ever admitted. Arizona Representative Adelita Grijalva signed the discharge petition immediately after Speaker Mike Johnson swore her in. Then comes after a record 50-day wait to be sworn in. Representative Adelita delivered marks critical of the under wraps. One 2019 email shows Epstein saying, of course, Trump knew about his association with young women, many of whom were later confirmed to be underage. In other leaks, emails Epstein reported called Trump borderline insane, in my opinion, borderline schizophrenic, in a 2018 exchange with a former Treasury Secretary, Larry Summers. Another associate described Trump's financial disclosure as 100 pages of nonsense. Trump has already clapped back online, calling the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files a hoax, claiming Democrats are using it to distract from ongoing government shutdown. Boo, the shutdown is gone, Donnie. Stop making excuses. You and Mike Johnson, you might as well go on the grind app the way y'all keep playing in America's face. Meanwhile, sources say top officials met at the White House on Wednesday to strategize before more Epstein-related files potentially drop. And they will, and they are. One moment, please. How y'all doing in YouTube world? So Epstein files, this is the takedown of Donald Trump.
Applause for that person who said, finally, at Representative Adelita Grijalva's swearing, and then Mike Johnson went like that. That was pretty freaking funny. I will show you the clip. But also, listen to the applause. That whole house was freaking ecstatic because shit's gonna go down.
Will Representative-elect Grijalva and members of the Arizona delegation present themselves in the well? And all members will rise. And the representative-elect will raise her right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you are about to enter, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations, you're now a member of the United States Congress.
Bro took 50 days to swear her in because she's the last signature to release a certain file. A round of applause for that person who said, finally, at Representative Adelita Grijalva's swearing, and then Mike Johnson went like that. That was pretty freaking funny. I will show you the clip. But also, listen.
Trump is on the Epstein files. More on Epstein, and this one is a reenactment of what Pam Bundy would be doing right now. freaking out.
No, fuck. Oh God, no, not the emails. Not the emails that I knew about. Fuck, we gotta spin it. We've gotta spin it. Okay, he's the dog that didn't bark. Okay, no, because he purrs like a kitten. No, that sounds horrible. Oh my God, how illegal are all the lies that I told? I know I'm the United States Attorney General, but I was hired under Trump's meritocracy plan, not DEI. I don't fucking know. Oh God, he spent hours with her at his home. No, okay. We say that he was tutoring her. He was teaching her the art of the deal. Oh God, teaching a trafficked child the art of a deal? The fuck? That's even stupid for you, Pam. Oh, we're so... No, fuck. Oh God, no, not the emails. Not the emails that I knew about. Fuck, we gotta spin it. We've gotta spin it.
Well, honey, Pam Bundy, you're spinning out of control just like Dunny. You're panicking. Y'all calling it a hoax, honey, but you and your FBI, y'all was doing a cover up for Donald Trump. And the American people know what is going on. We now know for sure. We never doubted it. We know for sure, Dunny, you all over the Epstein files. You've been a naughty boy. And in the eyes of God, you are filth. And that came from Nicole Whitted, author. So Epstein files, Dunny boy, you are so effing nasty. What I'm talking about? Hold up, wait a minute.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news here, but listen, we've got to have a talk. Look at this. Trump knew. He spent hours with the victim. This picture, all the other pictures, take into account that Donald Trump now is freaking out that the discharge petition is going to be signed that will release the files. He's threatening Republicans with primaries if they sign the thing releasing the files after promising he was going to release the files. He's promising, sort of, to pardon or commute the sentence of Ghislaine Maxwell, this guy's main accomplice. And by the way, he also has already moved her to a really nice prison. And it just came out this weekend that she has concierge service. Guys, you have one choice. Either you think that what Jeffrey Epstein did was bad, or you're willing to make exceptions because one of the guys hates the same people you do. Which is it? Okay, guys, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Trump is on the Epstein files. He's a bad boy for life. Jersey Mike, how you doing, King? He said, I hope Trump meet the Grim Reaper. Me too, baby, like real soon. And throw the dirt over him. Just throw the dirt over him. Yeah, boy. Zombie says, I hope all files are released and let's have the list, baby. Yes. Zombie says, Alan, so be it. I want to know. We all want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, Dunny. And Pam Bundy, you knew. You said you saw the videos and all, girl, but now you want to backpedal and PUSSY popping backwards on it, girl. Yeah. Phoenix said 1.9 trillion American rescue plan and more Democrat on it. Oh, baby. It's some Dems on it, but I bet you I know who's not on it. President Joe Biden isn't on it, and President Barack Obama and not in the Epstein files, baby. Yeah, Bill on there. Poor Bill. Bill, all the black people loved you. You don't let us down, boy. But we didn't doubt it about you. No, we didn't. Not Bill. All right, King Ed, how you doing, baby? So, Epstein on the brain in America. And we are not going to stop talking about the files. You got that, fat boy Donnie?
Garcia, we know today has been a big day in our fight for justice for the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. We released a bunch of documents today, emails, correspondence, that really raise new questions about what exactly Donald Trump knew, what he did, what his relationship was with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the emails that we released today essentially allege in Jeffrey Epstein's writings that Donald Trump spent hours possibly with one of the victims. They also say that in another email that Jeffrey Epstein wrote, it says that Donald Trump knew about the girl documents. And people should read these for themselves. There are 23,000 documents that we're in the process of releasing. We've released some of those today. What's important at this moment is that Donald Trump can right today release the Epstein files. And we're demanding that him and the Attorney General right now release the files and bring justice to these survivors and to their victims. And they right now are involved in a massive White House cover-up. So it's time to end this now, tell the American people the truth, and release the files. Hey, it's Congressman Garcia.
Yes, a massive Donald Trump pedo cover-up. Mike Johnson was the umbrella for the cover-up of Donald Trump. Trump is on the Epstein files. So, what does Trump and Mike Johnson have in common? They both use the words quite often. I don't know anything about it. What I'm talking about? One moment.
Announced a new nominee for the U.S. Surgeon General who never finished her residency and is not a practicing physician. So can you explain why you picked her to be America's top doctor?
Because Bobby thought she was fantastic. I don't know her. This president doesn't know what he's doing, and he blames somebody else.
Is the administration sending migrants to Libya?
I don't know. You'll have to ask Homeland Security, please.
Americans are watching all this, and they're wondering, who's really running the country?
Mr. President, your reaction to the story in Atlantic that said that some of your top cabinet officials and aides had been discussing very sensitive material and saying, I don't know anything about it. If he doesn't know, there's a level of ignorance that frankly is unforgivable for a U.S. president.
Do you still believe nothing classified was shared?
Well, that's what I've heard. I don't know. I'm not sure. You have to ask the various people involved. I really don't know.
If he doesn't know that, the people around him are derelict in their duty. Here's what I think. I think the man is clueless.
A last-minute Biden-era regulation that hits ordinary Americans hard.
What do they do?
And he just happens to be sitting there signing that they stick in front of him.
What's this one?
That's unleashing American energy spirit.
Signed executive orders that he probably didn't even know what he was signing. I haven't heard about that. They probably want to keep it from me.
Maybe the people who are actually running the country haven't told him.
I haven't heard that. I know nothing about it. I didn't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it.
He has no idea. The guy is not fit to be president.
Just announced a new nominee for the
I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. Yeah. Donnie doesn't know anything. That's the same thing that Mike Johnson liked to say. I don't know anything about it. Well, we know about these Epstein files. Trump is on the Epstein files.
Unbelievable. After Jeffrey Epstein's own emails were released showing him say Donald Trump was alone with a victim for hours at his house, Caroline Leavitt had the nerve to call the entire Epstein case a Democrat hoax.
Requests. So this administration has done more than any, and it just shows how this is truly a manufactured hoax by the Democrat Party. For now, they're talking about it all of a sudden because President Trump is in the Oval Office. But
she can't even get herself to acknowledge how serious this new evidence is. At this point, she is knowingly covering up for a PDF file. The fact that Jeffrey Epstein himself called Trump the dog that hasn't yet barked and said he was alone at his house with a victim for hours should tell us everything we need to know. But somehow, someway, Caroline Leavitt is still trying to dismiss all of that as political theater. You can't just brush off a trafficker's own words about Trump spending hours at a time with a victim. That is just denial. It's what this administration has done time and time again. When the facts are too damning, just simply call it fake news. But these emails aren't just rumors. They're written proof from Epstein himself. We are watching a desperate attempt to rewrite history. They're trying to convince Americans that black and white evidence is somehow a partisan illusion. But these aren't the Democrats' words. These are Epstein's. And everybody who's trying to cover up for Donald Trump at this point knows what they're doing and needs to be held legally accountable. This is one of the darkest scandals in American history, and we know exactly who's trying to bury it because they're doing it on live TV. This is unbelievable. After Jeffrey Epstein's...
Hit that like button, everybody. I see more of you coming in. Please hit the like button in support of me. Also, if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. And now you can call me Dr. Queen Lillie. Thank you. Trump's going down. Trump's going down. And you ain't around, baby. His whole world upside down. Trump going down, baby. And I'm enjoying this moment. Yes, God. JD Vance says, what's what possible interest would the U.S. government have in keeping Epstein clients a secret? Well, it's coming back to bite you, J.D. Vance. Those are your words. So, Jack said the DOJ and Miss Maxwell's lawyers have made a deal that her little black book of contacts would never be made public. And that is from the Times, the UK. Well, it's going to get made public. Not just that, but 23,000 emails. Y'all, that's big. 23,000 emails. More on the Epstein files. Trump is on the Epstein files.
Donald Trump can run, but he can't hide from Jeffrey Epstein. By now, you've probably seen those emails released by House Democrats because Republicans are still protecting Trump to the bitter end on this. And in one of those emails from Jeffrey Epstein himself, his own words, he writes to his partner in crime and degradation, Ghislaine Maxwell, that, quote, one of the dogs that hasn't barked is Trump. And he adds that one of the young women whom he trafficked to rich men, quote, spent hours with Trump at Epstein's house. Jeffrey Epstein is one of the darkest public figures of my lifetime, and Trump palled around with him for years. Now, this is all going to come out at some point. It's all going to come out. That's the nature of things. Trump can try and commute Ghislaine Maxwell's sentence or pardon her. The Republicans try to cover it up. But at some point, we will know all about it. And so the only question is, for Republicans, for ordinary Americans who support Donald Trump, do you really want to be remembered this way? Do you really want your grandchildren to look at you as the party, as the people that turned a blind eye to this, that empowered this darkness? Donald Trump can run, but he can't hide from Jeffrey.
You can run, but you can't hide, baby. Run, Rudolph. You can run, but you can't hide. And this is the thing with life. You can try your best to erase history because they did it to us black people, so I know exactly how it goes. But Donnie, 23,000 emails, boy. You can run, but you can't hide, Donnie. Oh, no, more on the Epstein files.
We have some more bombshell news about Jeffrey Epstein. Newly released documents in the past hours show that Jeffrey Epstein said he attended a meeting with Andrew, formerly known as Prince Andrew, and Donald Trump in London back in 2019, just about 1 month before Epstein was arrested by federal authorities on sex trafficking charges. Presumably, Donald Trump would have known that Epstein was under investigation at this time, and yet, if he met with him, that would still be a bombshell. Check out this document released by the House Oversight Committee. It's an email from Epstein's email saying Prince Andrew and Trump today, too funny. In a further communication, he talks about how Trump thought he was king as well. Now, we don't have confirmation that Epstein attended this meeting with Prince Andrew and Donald Trump, but what we do have confirmation is that this meeting did occur. Andrew and Trump met in London back in 2019. We need answers, and we need it now. I will provide you more updates as we get them, so spread the word. Full updates on my Substack, linked in bio. Subscribe for free. Follow along, stay updated on all the news that you need to know about. We have some more bombs.
2019, who was in the Oval Office? MAGA, please tell me, beloved, tell me, who was in the Oval Office 2019? And who was in the Oval Office when Jeffrey Epstein was put down like a dog? Donald Trump. The bloated, syphilis, orange monster was in the Oval Office. Donald Trump. Trump is in the Epstein files. Yeah. So they're all criminals, the MAGA Republican Party, in my opinion. Take a listen.
Every single Republican on the Rules Committee voted against my amendment, which would have stripped the Payola provision out of this bill. They voted to keep in the bill a provision that will send millions of dollars to senators' individual bank accounts. That is corruption. It is payola. They should have had the courage to stand against corruption, and they didn't. They voted down my amendment. Now we won't even get a vote on the House floor. It shows you where Republicans stand, and it's not with the American people. Every
The
single
MAGA Republican Party has never stood with us, the American people. They look at us as peasants when they work for us. You work for us. We don't work for you, okay? Get it together, MAGA Republicans, the dumpy pants Donald Trump. Trump is in the Epstein files.
Not rumors, real emails dropped today by J.E. himself. Oh, how the plot thickens, and he's probably scrambling right now. Bannon said last week if they lose the midterms, they're all going to prison. In one of the emails to Ghislaine Maxwell, he said, Trump's the dog who hasn't barked yet. And he also told her that he spent hours at the house with him and a certain someone. And also a message to Michael Wolff that Trump knew about the girls. Wait. It gets better. Epstein and Wolff were strategizing on how Trump should answer about their relationship. Like what he should say on CNN. Like, I know these emails don't prove guilt in a court of law. They're not convictions. I get it. But connect the fucking dots. And just know these aren't whispers or rumors anymore. These are actual receipts. So MAGAs and Republicans, the man who said he didn't know anything, is showing up all over J.E.'s private messages. Messages that talk about girls, hours spent, and how to cover up the stories. Think about this for 1 second. When the same name keeps on resurfacing in every single freaking story, maybe you should stop pretending it's just a coincidence, or you're taking things out of context, or they're lying. Stop protecting.
Stop protecting pedophiles. Stop protecting people that take advantage of children, of women. Donald Trump has been taking advantage of women a long time, baby. Through the pageants. Walking up to him and grabbing him by the PUSSY. Now he wants E. Jean Carroll's conviction of him taken away. It's a civil case, Donnie. Now pay her. Trump is on the Epstein files.
Epstein news is big, okay? These documents that are being released, big. I have never seen. There was one time where I saw the Trump folks in this much panic and disarray, and that was around the grab him by the you-know-what scandal. And he had to do that hostage. Looks like he was in a hostage video. This Epstein stuff, the White House is panicked. They're holding emergency meetings. They are strong-arming Republican members of Congress and just Republicans in general to say, you got to be on our side. And people are saying, no, F you, I'm not doing it. Y'all, let me tell you, something is going to happen. Something has got to give with these Epstein things. And this could end him. This Epstein news is big, okay?
It's big, Donnie. It's so big, Donnie. You're not going to be able to smother it. You're not going to be able to put it under the bed or put it under the rug and forget about it, baby. We're not sweeping it under the rug. The American people going to keep talking about it because you're going down, Donnie. It went down in the emails, not in the DM, Donnie. It went down in the emails. The Epstein emails, 23,000 emails were released today. They were released. Trump is in the Epstein files. Now, that was Don Lemon. Be sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel. But we're going to listen to Michael Wolff, the one that's giving us the goods on Donnie Boy and Epstein. Yeah. Jeffrey E. Epstein and Donald J. Trump.
The House Oversight Committee released emails directly linking Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And in fact, some of those emails are between Epstein and me, with Epstein discussing his relationship with Donald Trump. I have been trying to talk about this story for a very long time now. And this is, well, perhaps we're getting close to the smoking gun. These two men, Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, had the closest of relationships for more than a decade. They shared everything. They shared their airplanes. They shared women between them. They shared constantly business and financial advice. You know, it's curious that Epstein's relationship.
I'm gonna stop this a moment, but do y'all not recall when Wolf said that Jeffrey Epstein stated that Donald Trump and Melania Trump did the business for the first time on his jet? Yeah, Donald Trump did the business with Melania Trump on Epstein's jet. But she said Epstein didn't introduce them. See, a hoe gonna be a ho 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 and a Merry Christmas, so we're not surprised. Are we, America? Hell to the no, to the no, no, no. We're not surprised. Jeffrey Epstein files are real, baby. It's not a hoax. And the survivors are not a hoax. Can I get an amen in this house? Trump is in the Epstein files.
Oversight Committee released emails directly linking Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And in fact, some of those emails are between Epstein and me, with Epstein discussing his relationship with Donald Trump. I have been trying to talk about this story for a very long time now. And this is, well, perhaps we're getting close to the smoking gun. These two men, Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, had the closest of relationships for more than a decade. They shared everything. They shared their airplanes. They shared women between them. They shared constantly business and financial advice. You know, it's curious that Epstein's relationship with so many people in public life has damaged them considerably. But the one person who he was closest to has not been held accountable. That's Donald Trump. I released tapes of Epstein talking about this relationship before the election to really little effect. But I think the fact that this is now foursquare on the agenda, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, is exactly where this should be. That is the question. What was Donald Trump's relationship to Jeffrey Epstein? What's the nature of that relationship? What did they do together? And anything, I think, that can bring us closer to an answer to that question is central to our time. Now, I think, as most of you know, I have commenced this lawsuit against Melania Trump, and I think that will allow me to ask the questions of her and also of her husband and of the many people that surrounded their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And at this point, I think we can all focus on the main issue, which is to get to the bottom of this relationship. This morning, the House
Honey, when I tell you the tea is hot, it is piping hot. Their mama is over here sweating, babies. Yeah. How y'all doing in my chat? I hope you're doing very well, because I'm excited about this tea. Honey, Donnie's somewhere in the corner crying. Mama, mama. Y'all remember he was doing like that at one of his rallies? Mama, mama. Your mama don't hear you, boy. She ain't even like you. So, more on Epstein.
Just happened, folks. Adelita Grijalva is now officially a representative, officially a member of Congress. She has been sworn in after weeks and weeks and weeks of Mike Johnson stonewalling her, refusing to sign her in over the Epstein files. So what was her first act? The very first thing that she did right after being sworn in, she signed that discharge petition to release the Epstein files. She is officially the 218th vote. So what happens next? This doesn't mean the Epstein files are released immediately. What the discharge petition does is it forces a vote on the House floor for a vote on the Epstein files. Mike Johnson has been refusing to actually hold a vote on this at all because he's pretty confident if he held a vote that it would pass, that people would vote overwhelmingly to release the files. So they had to do this backdoor way to get them through. So here's what happens from this point on. Basically, there is going to be a 7-workday period, 7 days in legislative sessions, where this discharge petition has to do something that they call ripen. After it ripens for 7 days, they basically have about 2 days to actually bring this to the House floor for a vote, and then it goes through the process that all legislation goes through. And so a couple of other things could potentially happen here, a couple other curveballs that I want to call out. First, Republicans could take this discharge petition to the House Rules Committee and try to get them to spike the whole thing. The House Rules Committee has already said that they will not do that, but we will have to see. Next,
we will have to see. We're going to have to see. And be sure to subscribe to Midas Touch Network. Donald Trump tried to go against them too and try to sue them, but it didn't work. They're all attorneys, baby. Their IQ higher than yours, Dunny. You low IQ boy. And you're fat and funky. Trump is on the Epstein files. So Trump, the bully, is bullying an abused woman to do what the F he wants. Trump, Epstein is coming for you, baby.
President of the United States has a domestic violence survivor in a meeting right now where he is bullying her into not releasing information that ties him to the world's most infamous pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein. That's right. Donald Trump is trying to shake down Lauren Boebert so that she does not vote to allow the release of the Epstein files today. So first, let's take a look at the emails that came out today. These emails are not being released by the Department of Justice in any kind of transparency move from the Trump administration. Rather, these emails were provided by the Epstein estate to the Democrats on the Oversight Committee. That's why we're getting this information. Email number 1 from 2011, Jeffrey Epstein writing to Ghislaine Maxwell, marking the email with high importance. I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never been mentioned, police chief, etc. And the White House didn't deny that this happened, but they claimed that the victim, whose name had been redacted, is Virginia Giuffre. Conveniently, Virginia Giuffre is the only person to have said that she never had a sexual encounter with Donald Trump. Jeffrey Epstein trafficked thousands of girls to hundreds of men. Pretty convenient that you say, oh, that victim name, that's Virginia, the woman who killed herself because of the pressure that she faced and who under duress said she never had an experience with Donald Trump. We have a little editorial on the second email from Jed here. This email exchange is between Jeffrey Epstein and his lawyer, Kathy Rumler, who one time was White House counsel to President Barack Obama. She was also associate counsel for President Clinton. Here she is sending Jeffrey Epstein an email of a New York Times article talking about Donald Trump's high crimes and misdemeanors. Remember, this was about Donald Trump lying to banks to get more favorable terms by inflating the value of his properties. And over here, Epstein says, you see, I know how dirty Donald is. My guess is that non-lawyers and New York business people have no idea. And then finally, there's an email exchange between the author Michael Wolff, who has done several different books on Jeffrey Epstein, and Epstein himself. It appears that here, Michael Wolff was asking Epstein if there's any questions he should bring up to Donald Trump. And Epstein says, you want to be provocative? Trump shuttle, Hawaiian tropic contests, the mortgage on Mar-a-Lago, revenue of his golf courses as income, total debt. People don't want to give him money because he says he's worth over $10 billion. Why should they give him money? Father brought chips into the casino to stave off bankruptcy. Chips because it was better than first lien under the gambling rules. Ask about Matt, his bagman, his loan from his brother-in-law, the judge's husband. How much did his father leave? And ask about his brother, Robert. Robert died in 2020, but prior to that, he had been the president of Trump Organization. He's also rumored to be the person who negotiated all of Donald Trump's entertainment and sports contracts. He was also in charge of the casino in Atlantic City. The vote to release full Epstein files is today sometime after 4 p.m., and it should go through so long as Lauren Boebert doesn't change her vote after being personally threatened by the president. The President of the United States has a domestic violence survivor in a meeting right now where he is...
Yep, not a good look, Donnie. A domestic violence survivor in your office. You trying to bully her to change her mind, Donnie. You're going to hell, boy. You're going to hell. You're going to hell. Your soul ain't right is filthy, Donnie. Nasty boy. So Epstein Day Hear me out, MAGA. Take a listen.
News: White House in a panic over the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. There's an emergency meeting reportedly about to happen at the White House between Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Todd Blanche to try to manage the fallout from all of these Epstein files materials that are being released. And then what they will do after Adelita Grajava is sworn in, the Arizona Congresswoman.
Uh-oh, what happened? Hold on.
Is sworn in, the Arizona Congresswoman, because she is the deciding vote on releasing the files. White House, according to reports, in full panic over what's next for Donald Trump and the Epstein files. Stay tuned. When we get more information, we'll bring it to you.
And that is from Don Lemon. Y'all know who he is, honey. He got a couple million, a lot of millions from CNN. When they let him go, they had to pay him, honey. Well, he's doing much better. Now he can just tell the truth about everything. He's much more successful than what he was on CNN because Donald Trump now controls even CNN. That's a damn shame, but it's true. You can't trust the news anymore. You got to come to us, baby, because we're going to give you what you want, give you what you need. Satisfaction guaranteed, baby, that comes from me. I give you what you want. I give you what you need. And you need me. So today, all things Epstein again.
We have another bombshell email coming out of the Jeffrey Epstein estate files that have been released by House Oversight Democrats today. This is one that Donald Trump really didn't want the public to see, but here it is. On August 23rd, 2018, Jeffrey Epstein sends a Kathy Lumiere quote, "You see, I know how dirty Donald is. My guess is that non-lawyers, New York business people have no idea what it means to have your fixer flip." This is referring to they're having a back and forth conversation about Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former fixer and former lawyer, back in 2018. The steady drip of Epstein documents that we're seeing today is only getting worse for the President of the United States, and he is desperately trying to stop them. And it really seems as though the day of reckoning is coming for the President. Whether or not these files are ever actually fully released from the Justice Department, House Republicans will be on record as soon as this evening. We'll have more updates soon. I'll provide you more updates. Spread the word.
Be sure to subscribe to the great Aaron Partners. Donald Trump, it is already bad enough you had Al Qaeda in our Oval Office yesterday on Veterans Day of all days. That was a slap in the face to the American veterans. You're a slimy person, Donald Trump. Now, 23,000 emails released. Epstein talking about you, back and forth between you, Wolf, and Miss Maxwell. You're going down, Donnie. I hope you never get it back. So Trump keeps saying the Epstein files are a hoax while he's a ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas. Take them, Lord. Take them.
We have some major news right now. Donald Trump is panicking even more, lashing out at Republicans who are voting to release the Epstein files on Truth Social, saying that Democrats are talking about Jeffrey Epstein because it's a hoax again, saying that it's a hoax, and then essentially saying that all Republicans should vote against it, is what he's saying. It comes as he's desperately trying to get a hold of two Republicans, Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace. He's tried to call both of them. Lauren Boebert has been meeting with them at the White House. Nancy Mace, however, they've been playing phone tag. She hasn't answered his calls, apparently, according to the New York Times. And so you have a president now who desperately wants this Epstein issue to go away, especially after the release of the files today, which showed that he was directly involved, potentially, with at least one victim. He was with her in Epstein's house. Now, obviously, there's no specific proof in that email.
Please subscribe to Aaron Partners. Donald Trump was trying to sue him too. You speak against the fat orange, rotten orange at that. Speak against him, he get mad and he just piss and poops all in that Depends and start pouting and go in the corner and have a temper tantrum. Just go in the closet. You've been in the closet all this time. He in the closet. Come out the closet. Grinder.
Attention, Epstein alert, because if you're not, you're missing it. Are you seeing all this new stuff coming in on Epstein? These emails and all of these documents that the House is releasing that have Donald Trump implicated in them, or at least he's mentioned about, and one email says that he ran into a door with it and his nose print is on the door because He was focusing on some young ladies in the pool, and apparently he was, according to one email, at the house. This is Epstein's house, like with one of the people for a considerable amount of time. And it's, look, pay attention. Epstein.
Trump is in the Epstein files. Trump going down. Trump going down, baby. His whole world upside down. His sleep won't be easy. Boy, please believe me. You're going down. I'm glad too. So, take a listen to this about the GOP is guilty.
Well. So the bullshit Bobby, crack a line, leave it alone. I wish that bitch would go on home. Tried her best today to distract the US of A away from the facts in those files. She tried to throw shade at Democrats' way by telling you a lie today. Yes, she said she found it very strange that the Democrats redacted Virginia Giuffre's name. The problem here, dear, is that they received those files already redacted.
And that was done by the FBI and Pam Bondi.
They didn't redact shit. They received them redacted. Crack a line, leave it alone, and going home thinks you're dumb, honey. But she ain't got much going on because she's full of fucking cum. Old man saggy ball cum, hun. Without that IVF, she wouldn't have a young one today. Because her old man, his balls sag in a most fabulous kind of way. But I just want to remind Crack-a-line, leave it alone, and going home or something today. Your daddy's guilty, okay? And everybody knows it. But something else here, dear, that we should be focused on, Crack-a-line. It ain't just about your daddy, you see. It's about the entirety of the GOP protecting your daddy, which means they're protecting themselves too. Like from the donors that threw money their way. That also are in those files, they say. Yes, Crack-a-line, you got a whole lot of work cut out for you today because you're going to have to protect the entirety of the GOP. It's not a publicity stunt, honey. It's the truth. What's the matter? You didn't like how we was playing chess? Ah, yes. You thought you won that shutdown play. Welcome to the fucking game of chess today. Strategic plays. Sometimes, baby, sometimes you hold that trump card until your opponent folds. And today, well, our trump cards are being played. Well. So
Trump is in the Epstein files. Maggie, you can get mad, get glad, and scratch your funky. Yeah, you know what I mean. I love you though. But you can get mad, get glad, do whatever you want. Scratch your funky. I don't give a F. Trump and the GOP is panicking over the Epstein files, y'all.
Guys, things are getting crazy right now. Trump, the Republican Party, the whole administration, they are all freaking out right now about the release of these new emails from the Democrats in the House Oversight Committee. Emails from Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, which have Trump's name all over them. The White House called an emergency meeting today where they had Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel. They had Deputy AG Todd Blanche, who used to be Donald Trump's personal attorney. He was the one who had that whole interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, they met in the Situation Room, apparently, according to Caroline Levitt, or a meeting in the Situation Room to discuss these files and how they could cover them up. And they pulled in Lauren Boebert, the Congresswoman, in order to try to pressure her against voting for the discharge petition. She's one of the yes votes. When Trump woke up to this news this morning, he apparently was frantically calling Lauren Boebert and playing phone tag with Nancy Mace. He was desperately trying to reach them to tell them, you better not vote for that discharge petition. And the guy is completely panicking right now. And then Trump just took to his Truth Social app again to call the Epstein child trafficking ring the, quote, Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And he's basically threatening Republicans. Do anything else but this. Please don't focus on this. Focus on anything but this. He then sent another post saying that Democrats are just trying to distract and deflect from the failure of the shutdown. I think you're trying to distract from the Epstein files. Have you ever heard of the Streisand effect, Donald? Well, maybe we should call it the Trump-Epstein effect. Speaker Mike Johnson also downplaying all of this, calling it another publicity stunt by the Democrats, saying that they're trying to mislead people. They are actively all engaged in this cover-up of the Epstein files. The panic right now is palpable.
The panic is real in the White House. The panic is real, honey. The panic is real while the tea is hot. Woo! Let's see what good old girl Jasmine Crockett has to say about the Jeffrey Epstein files. Inquiring minds want to know what our Queen Jasmine Crockett has to say. Hold up, wait a minute. One moment, I'm going to take a sip of water, please. Do you mind?
Is a key member of the House Oversight Committee and the House Judiciary Committee as well. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. What
She is so pretty.
From these emails that were publicly released by the committee today?
Yeah, so number one, it is clear that he knew what was going on, which I think that he's kind of alluded to that at some point in time, because the president said that he was trying to kick Ghislaine out of Mar-a-Lago because it seems like that's where girls were being recruited from based on information that we have. But more importantly is that he was having conversation, he being Jeffrey Epstein, with Michael Wolff, who is writing this book or trying to put together this book. And in real time, as Trump is running for his first presidential run, we hear or we see that he made it clear that he believes that he has leverage over Trump. And he said that a Trump regime would basically open up, this is me paraphrasing, this is not exactly what it said, but basically it'd be a free-for-all. And as we've seen, especially in this second term, it's been a free-for-all where Trump has absolutely pardoned some folk that we know are terrible, and we are waiting on him to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. I think that that's coming up soon too.
An important point indeed. Congresswoman, let's take a closer look at that email from Epstein where he writes to the author Michael Wolff saying this, and it's a direct quote, redacted victim, the name was redacted, Mar-a-Lago. Trump said he asked me to resign, never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Obviously, we don't have the full context here, but I'm curious, how do you read this specific email and what it means?
Yeah, I think that it is showing that he was well aware and he was trying to cover his tracks at that point in time. And I think that that's what you saw from Jeffrey. Obviously, it'd be better if we could talk to Jeffrey today, but it was very interesting that ultimately Jeffrey Epstein died sitting in prison during Trump's administration.
We had on Representative Marlon Stutzman earlier. He's a Republican, and he tried to make the case that President Trump is the most investigated person in the world, and he has not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing here. What do you make of that?
Listen, they will do and say anything to cover themselves.
Yep.
You know, I will admit that Donald Trump has been investigated more than the normal, but he just happens to be more corrupt and more criminal than any other president than we've had. I will point out he is the only president who has been convicted of 34 felony convictions that we've ever had in the Oval Office. So while we
boom, drop the mic. 34 felonies, and now he's all over the Epstein files. What you got to say about that, MAGA? He's guilty, in my opinion. The emails say a lot. Donald Trump is a grimy, slimy leader of this country. A hit dog will holler.
Well, well, well. Rarely am I ever rendered speechless, dear. But I must say, I don't have a whole lot to say today. The dog who hasn't barked, baby. The dog who hasn't barked. Those emails. Between the Jezebel, Ghislaine, the Madam of Massages, Maxwell, and the island guy from hell, oh, Jeffrey. You know, the one that Daddy W. Pants claims that he wasn't that tight friends with, dear. He barely knew the guy. He said that he stopped talking to that dude way back in 2006, 2007 at best, but in 2011, the Jezebel just leaned him out with Sergeant Maxwell and the island guy from hell was still emailing each other personal correspondence about Daddy, calling him the dog who hasn't barked. And I don't know about you, but baby, I motherfucking read. That's why I didn't vote for Daddy, but because I read books, honey, I know that that is a phrase from Sherlock Holmes. Yes, Dr. Watson, you see. Clearly, the reason the dog did not bark in the dark of the night is because he knew who the criminal and the perpetrator was, so he was silent. They were throwing shade Daddy's way. They could not figure out after Daddy spent hours upon hours with young ladies in Epstein's home alone. And I don't know about you, but I don't have any friends that I'm that fucking tight to that I can come to and say, hey, can I have the keys to your house for the day? I've got a young lady in which I need to play. And my friend just say, yeah, okay. Right? I also want to remind you that this guy, who apparently he wasn't that great of friends with, he still decided to use his plane during his campaign in 2024. Dear, he was flying everywhere on that plane. Far be it from me, but if I thought my friend who owned a plane was flying young ladies across the globe and doing God knows what with him, I wouldn't want to set foot in said plane, baby. But Daddy thought it was okay to use it on his campaign. So much circumstantial evidence here, dear. So much. The dog who has yet to bark. But I do believe today that hit dog is going to start to holler in a most fabulous way. Hell, he might have to go commit a war crime today and blow the fuck out of Maduro just so you stop looking those files way.
Well, Donnie, we're never going to stop looking at those files, and we're never going to stop talking about it, especially me, until your ass is out of that White House. When you're gone, that's just like your death. And I'm going to celebrate you being out of that White House. You are a curse on the American people. You are a dark cloud on this country. And to have Al-Qaeda in our Oval Office when they were against our veterans. You had a war criminal in there. You are shameful, Donald Trump. An embarrassment to the world, not just our country, the entire world. You low IQ piece of shit.
We have some big news right now. Mike Johnson is responding to the bombshell Epstein-related documents that were released this morning showing that Donald Trump knew of Epstein's crimes and spent time with a victim at Jeffrey Epstein's house. Mike Johnson is saying that this is just a way to mislead the public. He went on to say that this is merely a publicity stunt being done by Democrats on the same day that House Republicans are set to reopen the government. But here's the thing, the survivors, they deserve better. They deserve answers. There are dozens of survivors of Epstein and Maxwell's horrific crimes that have wanted answers from the Trump Department of Justice. The Justice Department has refused to release over 100,000 pages of documents with Donald Trump's name on them. Many of them Donald Trump's name on them. And so we're going to see what happens next. Adelita Graham will be sworn in today at around
We are definitely going to see what's going to happen next. I'm going to read some of y'all email me chats because we're talking about Donnie's emails with Epstein and Donnie. Yeah, so that's why I made a mistake and said emails. I meant to say my beautiful chat. One moment, please. I'm going to read some of your chats and then we're going to get out of here. I'm on a high because I am not Dr. Lillie Young. Dr. Young, that's who I am. Address me properly, MAGA. All right. Let's see what King Edward Thornton said. We love you so much, Queen Lillie, and keep doing what you're doing and keep informing the uneducated, baby. Who are you talking about? MAGA. Thank you, my beautiful, loving king. I love you. King LaSwan said Trump must go to prison instead. Yes. Mario says, hi. Hello, Mario Billa. I love you, baby. How you doing, King? LP said, Ryan, they don't think at all. Just get told what to think. I don't know if you're referring to me, but if you are, honey, you are part of the uneducated that my king, Edward Thornton, was talking about. Eat rocks, because your brains are nothing but rocks. Okay, Ross says, okay, I ain't even gonna argue with you on that. LaSwan says, King LaSwan says, keep up the great work, my Dr. Queen. Thank you. Miss Bugs, Queen Miss Bugs said MAGA poor with trash. Oh, they poor with trash and rotten teeth and all, honey. They don't take care of themselves. They don't even drink water. They just eat pork all day. Luke says, for real? Okay. Ryan says, I'm not reading your comment. God bless you and I love you. King Edward Thornton says, we love you so much, Queen Lillie, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, and I love you more. 93S94 says, Trump poopy adult Pampers going viral. Real bad, baby. Yeah, real bad. King Greg said, we all want the names, not just the ones we don't like. That is true, baby. Yeah, but as long as President Joe Biden is not on there and President Barack Obama, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I love you. Cat says, how come the Democrats didn't release all the papers? Because the Democrats are not over the Senate, the House, nor the Oval Office. They can't do it. They had to wait for Mike and Cash Patel and Pam Bundy to release them. Cash Patel and Pam Bundy. The Democrats have no control. Use your brain. God gave you a brain. Use it. Oh, God help these uneducated people. Dry Herb Voter says, like and subscribe. Thank you so much, beautiful one. Wear your crown proudly. Thank you. Raymond says, you look like you need a transfusion. I don't know what you mean. I'm born female. What do you mean I need a transfusion? You talking about your grandma that's croaked over right now, her last days, the same age as Donald Trump, and he about to croak over right now? Eat my... You want a nigger pie, boy? All right. Walter says, dog hasn't barked. What does that mean? You don't know. Your daddy don't know. That's why he been in my DMs at night. 93S94 Trump adult Pampers. Ha, yeah. Nasty boy. Wear a pamper. Then what y'all can't say, President Joe Biden don't wear a pamper. And he is doing well with that cancer treatment. Yes, God. Yeah, 8647. I got you, baby. Dry Herb Voter, 8647 at MF. LP said, Ellen, your eyes will be opened. Ellen's eyes are very open. He run this chat. His eyes is very open. Never insult him ever again, okay? I'll put my foot across your neck. Joe says, they are all slimy AF, so get the F over it. Joe, that's not what your daddy told me when he came up from between my thighs. Raymond said, you look like you've been getting up out of a coffin after being dead for years. Honey, well, if I look this good at 52 coming up out of a coffin, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Raymond, you're probably younger than me, but you look like you're about 60 years old. You're probably 35, but look old as Methuselah. Eat my SHIT. You want a nigger pie, boy? You better watch the movie Help. William says, Indians want their hair back. Baby, this is mine. This don't belong to nobody but me and God. God bless me with healthy hair. You should have seen how long my hair was before I cut it. You'll be eating my SHIT. Mine, baby. It didn't come from no, what is them places called? Wig shop. No, baby. All mine. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Honey. And remember, when you addressed me, you said doctor. All right. Dr. Herb Voter says, whoever in the files should face justice. That's right. It don't matter if they're Republican or Dem, but done it going down. Like it go down in a Dem. King Eric says, here comes the insults and baseless racist slurs. That's what y'all give me, yeah. So you're talking about yourself because MAGA is nothing but trailer park trash and hillbilly. Okay, I'm going to be getting up out of here. I thank y'all. Okay, let's see. Thank you because sent me. It went away because, wait a minute, my love. Because you can sent me flowers. Thank you so much. You are always blessing me and I love you. I love each and every last one of y'all, even the ones putting the rude comments in there because your comments don't hurt me. It ain't stopping me from getting my doctorate, PhD degree. I got it. Do you got a PhD? Hell to the no, to the no, no, no. You know who do? I do. It ain't stopped me from getting my proclamation. It ain't stopped me from getting my presidential awards. Who got it? I do. Yes, God, I do. I got a PhD. Do you got a PhD? Hell to the no. Don't come for me unless I send for you. Don't ever step to a queen because your crown is raggedy and it's old and it's made from cubic zirconia. While the rest of us around here in my chat, we got diamonds and rubies in our crown. MAGA, you can't afford it. Don't be mad at me. Did you get your food stamps yet, MAGA? Again, 78% of white people get food stamps, not black people. Black people's only 36%. Baby, y'all get more food stamps than anybody. You come for me, I'm going to push you further in that water till you can't breathe, baby. And what I drink every day when I come on here, I drink water because it keeps me looking young. I'm 52 and beautiful. My body, my face, my hair, my nails. I don't even wear fake nails. Don't even wear eyelashes. And you want to come for the queen? Are you kidding me? You better bow down, if anything, to a black woman at that. And don't you ever step to King Allen in my chat, nor Queen Miss Bugsby, any of my moderators. Respect them. Thank you, King Cam to the God. Thank you for blessing me. And thank you for blessing me again. I love you. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. God bless you all. We're going to be getting up out of here because the church sermon is over. Hit that like button before you leave and drink plenty of what? Water. It keeps you from aging so fast. I've been trying to tell y'all that from day one. I love y'all. God bless. Respect you all. Respect back to you, King Thomas Jordan. Yes, God. Amen. Hello, Jason. King Jason, how you doing, baby? Thank you, Jesus. Good night. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for coming to my live. Welcome again. I am Dr. Queen Lillie Young. God bless and good night. Bye.